Hi guys, Dr. Mel here. We are busy with redox reactions in your chemistry, and in the redox, we will now have a focus on the half reactions. So, we've covered in the previous lessons the oxidation and the reduction terms, and I'm quickly going to alert you to the acronym OIL REAC. Remember, oil is oxidation, is loss, and the rig is reduction is gain. Now, what does it lose and what does it gain? It loses and gains electrons. So, if I've got a loss of electrons, I will become more positive. So, you will see when we do the reactions that it will become more positive, and if it gains electrons, it becomes more negative. So we've got the transfer of these electrons from the one substance to the other, and that we call oxidation and reduction. And as you can see, it is actually a half reaction. One of the reactions will be a reduction reaction, and the other one will be an oxidation reaction. So we've done oxidation numbers. That's one way of seeing is the one oxidation or reduction. I need you to get your table 4, which will always be provided to you when you get your periodic table and your information sheet. You've got a table with standard electrode potentials. It looks like that. I usually work with the one with the lithium at the top. You can work with either of the two that they'll give you, but I like working with lithium at the top because it's just part of my explaining this concept. So I need you to get your table in front of you. You cannot just sit and watch this video. You need to engage, do it with me, make your own notes so that you can actually conceptualize what the half reactions of the redox chapter is. So let's have a look at the specific table. So you'll see this table will have on this side here an arrow, as well as on this side an arrow. Now I'm going to magnify those arrows so that we can see what it means. If you turn the page, you'll actually see it's the increasing reducing ability. So it's the increasing reducing ability. It actually says that at the top you have the stronger reducing agent. Now remember when we did reduction and oxidation in a previous lesson, we said the process where oxidation takes place is the reducing agent actually doing that. So what we have here on this side here at the top, we have the stronger reducing agent. So in actual fact, if this reaction goes that way, and remember it will lose electrons, so it will be the oxidation half reaction. It will be going that way because it's the stronger reducing agent on that side. On the other side, you will find an increasing oxidation ability, but to the opposite side. So if we have a look at this, you'll see I've got the stronger oxidizing agent here at the bottom, but on the left-hand side, which means this reaction will gain electrons, therefore it will be the reduction reaction. And can you hear what I'm saying? One half of the reaction will be the oxidizing half reaction. The other half of the reaction will be the reduction half reaction, and therefore we call it the half reactions. So it's important, guys, that you know you've got stronger reducing agents at the top there, and I actually advise all of you to write that down when you get your exam paper. Take that same table and write stronger reducing agents that side. Why? Because then you'll know it will go that way, it will lose electrons, and that will be the oxidation half reaction. on the other side of that table, write down stronger oxidizing agent. That will be this side of the table, and you know then that that's the reduction half reaction. It's just to make you very comfortable, so when they ask a question, you already have all the theory packed into your table. Right, let's move on and see how they'll ask this. Let's say, for instance, you've got a half reaction, you've got zinc, and you've got copper 2 plus. So what's going to happen? We're going to have a look. Where's zinc in this table? And you'll find it somewhere at the top, and the copper 2 plus will be at the bottom. So you will have a look and seek where's the two substances that they give you, and you will then see in their position. The one at the top will be the stronger reducing agent. And remember, you're not allowed to write an acronym like, for instance, RA. There is no abbreviation like RA. You can give the examiner a legend and say, in future, when I write RA, I mean reducing agent. But please don't use it as if everybody knows what it is, because it's not a common abbreviation. Then on this side, you will then see you've got your stronger oxidizing agent, and you will again see if it's at the bottom, it will be from this side to that side. Right, let's carry on and see what we do find. So if we've got this reaction of, let's say, what did we have? Zinc. Let's see where we can find zinc. I can see it there. And have a look on your table. Can you find the zinc? And see if you can find the copper 2 plus. Now, I'll show you now. You must be careful with copper, as with others. There might be 2 or 3 reactions. But can you see I've got the zinc up there, and I've got the copper 2 plus going to copper this side. So being knowledgeable about the fact that this is the stronger reducing agent, we know that reaction will go that way, and I can actually write down then, I've got zinc 2 plus 2 electrons, and this is exactly how it's written in this table. But you know it's not going both ways. You don't have the forward and the reverse reaction. It's only going that way. And because we are writing from left to right, you've got to change that equation and write it as if it's going from left to right. So that's the one reaction. Can you see? It loses electrons, so it's the oxidation half reaction. What do we also know? We know that this is the stronger reducing agent. Right, so we've done that equation. Let's have a look at the one at the bottom. So here we've got copper 2 plus. We know it's on this side, so it will be copper 2 plus, adding those 2 electrons that I got from the zinc, and it will now, again, it will not go as a balanced equation in terms of the forward and the reverse reactions. It will actually only go forward. So you will disregard that and say it's going that way, and it will form copper solid. So what do we have? We've got the gaining of electrons. This is thus the reduction half reaction. And make sure that you understand that the copper 2 plus is now the oxidizing agent. Be very careful to not have yourself confused with reduction. Can you see there's oxidation and reducing agent? And here we had reduction with the oxidizing agent. Right, in another instance, we have to take note that this table can only be used in terms of half reactions if you understand what type of reaction it is. Now we get electrochemical cells, and they are divided between, and we'll have 2 or 3 lessons on this, a galvanic cell as well as a electrolytic cell. So this table we use for both of them. So be careful. If I'm working with a galvanic cell, I actually make electricity. I go from chemical energy to electrical energy. Therefore, I'll have this oxidation there, and I have that reduction there. I'll get to the other one just now. And if you have a look at your gradient in your table, can you see it's a positive gradient? Now, if it's a positive gradient, I'm going to write that down. It's a positive gradient. This was the reducing agent. This was the oxidizing agent. If it's a positive gradient, guys, remember, then it's a spontaneous reaction, and just not a spontaneous reaction. It will actually happen exothermic. It will actually produce energy. It will generate energy. On the other hand, and I'm going to do it on this side, if you have a reaction going from this side to that side and from there to there, can you see I've got a negative gradient or slope? That will be an electrolytic cell taking electricity to a chemical reaction. And if I take electricity, you see here, I'll actually need a source like a battery or a cell. So I put in electricity, and that causes an electric chemical reaction. Finally, on this table 4, have a look. I need you to see that for instance, in chromium, can you see there's 2 plus going to chrome. There's a 3 plus going to a chrome. Let's just make that pluses. And we've got a 3 plus going to a 2 plus. So we need to be careful. You'll see, and the problem is you need to identify the correct one. So I've got here a chromium 2 plus and a chrome. I've got a chromium 3 plus and a chrome. And I've got a chromium 3 plus going to a chromium 2 plus. How am I going to know? Well, you know the stock notation. So you'll either get it like that or you'll get it like that. Finally, have a look at the iron. And again, there's a few others that also have 2 or 3 types. I've got here, I've got iron 2 plus plus 2 electrons giving me iron. And you know that will thus be this iron. And at the bottom, I've got the 3 plus. And can you see that is different to the one at the top? So make sure, guys, that you've got the correct iron that you are working with. Right. Finally, can you identify with the table the oxidation reaction? Now, if you get confused for some or other matter, remember on this side here of your table, if this is your table, this is the stronger reducing agent. And if you forget that as well, just remember at the top, you'll have the oxidation reaction. Now, that's my last resource to try and make you remember oxidation. On the other hand, you should be able to identify the reduction. That will be at the bottom here, and that will go that way. This is the oxidizing agent here at the bottom. The reducing agent that causes the oxidation will be there at the top. If it's a spontaneous reaction, you can predict it if the slope is a positive slope. If it's a non-spontaneous reaction, you'll have a negative slope. And we know now a spontaneous reaction will be an exothermic reaction, generating energy. And a non-spontaneous reaction will be an endothermic reaction. I hope you enjoy working with redox. It's really lots of marks. And if you clearly understand what you're doing step for step, you'll get all your marks. Bye.